hey, yeah, yeah, hey, hey, hands up, hands up.
What's going on, good people? Ms. Malcolm Hughes here with another book review. So today is a good day. It's beautiful weather here. So today is a good day. It's beautiful weather here. Nice white dress. Threw on this scarf. I'm a little upset at the moment. I will write a blog post about why. It will probably be titled "I Almost Screamed Today." That may change, but I'll tell you why. So it's most appropriate. I'll tell you why there. So it's most appropriate that today is a day where I reread this book, Bone, because I promised that it was going to be one of the books I review for May. She's actually going to be here in DC next month, so I'm going to check her out. She has a new book coming out, so I'm super excited. But Bone, her first book of poetry, and her is Yrsa Daley-Wards. This book is amazing. I had to remind myself not to compare it to other poem books and to let it stand alone. And when you do that, it just speaks volumes on its own. I mean, it holds up against others, but I didn't want to compare it against others. I wanted it to be its own work, to stand on its own, and for me to weight it as such. And it's such a solid piece of work. Very moving. On the back it says, it's an excerpt from one of her poems. It says, "You will come away bruised. You will come away bruised, but this will give you poetry." And frankly, it's true. You know my heart, Yrsa Daley-Wards, Salt, and Nejma. She's on the back of here, and what she says about the poem book is a symphony of breaking and mending. This whole book is an ache and a balm, and it's so true, and it's so important, because right now, I guess I'm gonna end up getting into it a little bit here. I kind of just spoke about it. I just came home and I just did like a freestyle rant on my phone, and it'll be a poem or a blog post or something. But it's about how upsetting it was. I just walked home from the grocery store, and I've been in this neighborhood for nearly 4 years now. And while walking home from the grocery store, it's a 2-block span, and for a block and a half, I didn't see any people of color, and it made me so angry. It made me so upset just about the insidiousness of gentrification, and just how gut-wrenching it is to know. I'm gonna write about it because it's too much to get into here, but just poverty in a capitalistic society. And I'm never mad at individuals wanting better lives and opportunities for their children, but I get so upset with people of color sometimes when you don't keep your properties and not sell. But I know it's so much more complex and complicated than that, and I know we're in a capitalistic society, and I know, trust me, I understand what it means when you ain't got it and someone is offering. Your desire to seize that opportunity, but I just need us to step back for a second, for a minute, and contemplate what we're giving up, because it's heartbreaking, and it's so hard, and it's like, why would I leave? Why should I leave? Why? And it's just so much I'm seeing, and I know I'm gonna write about it. It's making me so angry. I'm back to this poem book. It was such a good day too, and that just gut punched me, ripped my entire heart from my chest. But this poem book is amazing. It's so deeply personal. It's so deeply personal. But also there are the threads of humanity and human experiences that you can attach to and understand and comprehend. And as a woman, as a queer woman, as someone who has loved outside of herself, in spite of herself and against herself, at different points throughout my maturation and becoming where I stand today, I understood this so personally. In fact, I was at dinner with a friend earlier this week, and I read this while on vacation, so I had a couple of excerpts I had taken pictures of with my phone. And a friend was going through my vacation pictures, and she stumbled upon two poems that were pictures, two pictures that were poems from this book, and from that she ordered the book. It speaks to you in such a way. But I will share a couple of pieces. I'll share the poem that impacted her, and then I'll share a poem that for me just speaks volumes. And there are so many, but I'll choose a couple and expound on them. So the one that she read that hit her in a soft place is called Battle, and it reads, "Loving someone who hates themselves is a special kind of violence, a fight inside the bones, a war within the blood." And I know why that hit her so deeply. I kind of do. One of my favorite Neo songs is "Let Me Love You Until You Learn to Love Yourself." But it's so flawed and it's so fractured, because trying to love someone who does not love themselves takes so much out of you. And it's not, you can't make someone else love themselves. You cannot. That's just a fact. So in attempting to do that, all you're doing is you're beating yourself. You're fighting yourself. You're beating yourself. You're trying to battle a volcano. It doesn't work the way you want it to, and you come out battered and bruised yourself. It is a special kind of violence. The poem for me right now that's speaking volumes, or one of them, is called Heat, and it's, "I miss you in tiny earthquakes, in little underground explosions. My soul is a hot disaster. Home is burning. You're a lost thing." And I can think of that for just so many people, so many scenarios, across so many relationship types, familial, personal, romantic. And it's just that the earth-shattering feeling sometimes of when a missing of something just hits, and it shakes you to your core. It's a tiny earthquake. And the heat of it, it's just, she has the ability to take the right concept and apply it to the right emotion and put it in mostly short excerpts that hit you to your core. And that is a true talent. That's a poet, that's an artist, that's a creative. To be able to take human experience, human emotions, and human pain, joy, laughter, all of it, and to cultivate it in such a way that you see yourself in it, and you see yourself outside of it, and you see it outside of yourself. She's a talent. She's a talent with words. Not all of her poems are short, but what I enjoy about all of them is that she's a storyteller. I would say she's a storyteller first and foremost. And what she does is tell stories. And she covers an array of topics that are all deeply personal to her, and that comes out in the work. told stories about her childhood, her mother. You could tell that her mother hunts her and is with her always. Just family over generations, sexuality, and not the exploration of it, but the reality of it, the here-ness of it, and how it is not a subset, it is not this alternative, it is not something that's an added thing, it just is. And I think she does an amazing job of just letting it be. It's not forced into the work, it's a part of her, and therefore it comes out in her work. Right now I'm looking for a poem that I think, simply put, captures so much of cross-generational relationships with religion. And it's called To the Elders. I cannot find the God you serve, and I have been known to stay out all night searching. On a somewhat lighter note, what I'm gonna do is go to her, not the intro poem, but the second poem, the one right after that. And I love the flirtatiousness of it. There's a heaviness, but there's a lightness. I'm someone who, I call myself a classic romantic. I love the flirt. I love the getting to know someone. I love the dance. I love the forward and the back. I love the pace. I love being caught up in the rapture. Shout out to Anita Baker. And this kind of feels like that. The flicker, the fire, the fleetingness of a moment, and the significance of capturing it. And just being. You ever had an experience where you knew that it was limited, so you enjoyed it all the more? Like that. But I'll let the poem speak for itself. It's called Emergency Warning. Also, the power of poetry. This is totally lifting my soul and my spirit from the previous experience that I just had. So I am grateful to poetry, to artists who pour their souls out into the world for us to receive and mend and just find a source of healing in it. So I'm grateful. But emergency warning. You are one of those people, it is clear, who needs help. I think you should stop speaking in a low, attractive voice whenever you call. Stop making me think of velvet and fragrant tobacco and that first sip of bourbon. Stop inciting stirrings, movements between us, little rebellions, causing chaos in all of my darker places. The top half of my body is at gross political warfare with the lower. One part of me is roaring and the other wholly disapproves. You are a beautiful danger. Do not force me to open up. Some books are bound tightly for years for reasons. Some books are burned for their own good, love. Stop wearing clothes the way that you do. Don't allow them to cling to your body like that. Do not follow these effortless fashions where everything looks just so, because really, who could resist such a thing? The Lord knows you are beautiful and unfair. I think perhaps you should spare a thought, dear, for those who are sick over you, burning up with you, damp with you. You know what you do. You're a slow fever. Don't be so very engaging, amusing, or witty, or bright. You are causing confusion and jams in tight spaces. You are an accident in waiting. The type of accident with casualties spanning from me to you and here to there. A potential tragedy, a stunning unborn disaster. Should I touch you? I will suffer, and you will suffer, and she will suffer. You are a danger zone. I must not enter. I should not enter, but I might. Have you ever wittingly walked into a situation that you knew you should have walked into, but you walked into anyway because you felt like the ride might be worth it, even though it would be one heck of a ride and you might be bumped and like bruised? It's like that. A test. Things our bodies have been. A bargaining tool. Breakfast. Confused. Developed over. Expensive. Fun. Ghost. Health. Igloo. Joke. Kissed. Lover. Mine. Not. Offering. Pricey. Quiet queer. Reward. Supple. Tempting. Undone. Very. Weapon. Triple X. Yours. Or that's what we told you. Zest. I'm going to read the one that made me cry and almost ripped my heart out of my chest while on a train platform in Barcelona. Why you love her and what to do. 1. Because she, like you, was raised on the hard side of the lie, and when this giant of a woman folds all of herself into you, so small, you want to keep her for good. Safe from all that ever was and will be. You want to take her away from everything that ever hurt her or still can, because neither of you know your daddy's voice. You know first name and surname and little facts like the country hers was born in, and that yours had puppy dog eyes that cut through your mother's stubbornness. But as for his shade of black and the way your hands might feel in his, you may only guess, because you joked that perhaps they were the same person. That would explain so much and would also make you illegal, but some of the best loves have been. Because you knew her past before she told you. Those were all of your mistakes too, happening in a different town, age 16, with grown men, some of whom had grown wives. Because your bodies always betrayed your young selves, making you smell like you shouldn't, giving you a scent you weren't old enough to own, doing women's work when you were barely old enough to bear a man's weight, a heartbreak, or a child. This is why you love her. 2. So you've got to hold her with both hands at arm's length. Say there's too much of her inside of you already. Feel like you cannot stand anymore. Tell her no, pull back. It hurts. Know that she scares you, and you're far too used to life as a lone wolf crying at the new moon and marveling at its orientation in every single new country. Let her know the relief of leaving things behind. Tell her it's a pain you've grown with. Tell her you'll come back, visit, really mean it. Tell her she is better with someone else. The kind of person who stays in a place and builds and knows how to stay put. Know that her mothering isn't something to get used to. Tell her you stopped relying on this aged 6. See her happy in the future with someone better than you. Feel sick when you feel it, but know it. I'm not even going to get into that story. So, those are all the poems that I'm going to share from this book because I want you to go get it and read it. It's amazing. There are just so many poems that touch on so many facets of life. The way we treat each other, the way we don't. The pain we give each other over generations in our actions. By our inactions, our inability to act, our unwillingness to act. There are just so many stories here. And this poem is a telling of a story. It is. It is. It's amazing. It's worth reading. I would say go get it. Indeed. It's an ache and it's a balm. That was a perfect description. It will hurt and mend, but it is necessary, because healing is hard and it can be painful, and sometimes it hurts to the bone. But in that there is poetry, in that there is life, in that there is strength, in that breaking there is a new beginning. Get the poem book. Do yourself a favor. It's heavy. It's going to weigh on you, but you'll come out on the other side refreshed because of it. I'm telling you. Do yourself a favor, man. Go get it. Alright. So, also, yeah, quick update. So, The Princess Saves Herself this time. That review is coming. Juliet Takes a Breath. That review is not coming yet. And here is why. I'm doing something very exciting. Can't tell you about it. But for the first time this summer, something super special is coming. And it has to do with that book. I am going to be able to tell you that really soon. I want to have everything in place first. So really soon it'll be coming your way. It'll be an announcement. I will definitely let you all know. But you should definitely look forward to it. And I'm stoked. I'm so stoked about it. So yes, know that a review for Juliet Takes a Breath is coming, but in a whole different way than originally promised. Alright, so until next time I'm out, June reads will be coming up soon. Let me know what you all are reading. I would love recommendations. I mean, I have a list of so many books to get to, and so many books that I have to get to, but let me know what you all are reading. Let me know if you've read these books, what your thoughts are. Let me know if you have a book that you want me to read and review. I'm totally open to that. So until next time, man, take care, and always be kind to yourself, build community, and hug and love on each other, man. In these times, hug, love on each other, build community, and just be there. Alright? Strategize, build together. Community is so important. Alright, till next time, y'all. I'm out.